Hello everyone, this is the Sports Spiral, and today I have a very special, shorter video. I am going to preview the College Football National Championship in this video, and it's going to be shorter because it's just one game, but I'm really going to break this game down and tell you who I think will win. So Ohio State, we didn't even think they should get into the playoff because they only played 6 games, including the conference championship, and they had some struggles against Northwestern and Indiana, the two ranked teams they went against. They did win both of those games, but they didn't look very good in them. But then they go to the semifinal, facing Clemson, and they blow Clemson out 49-28. Justin Fields looked excellent. Trey Sermon looked great. And the Ohio State defense was quite good in that one too. So, will they be able to pull off the upset against Alabama in Miami for the national championship, which is tonight at the time as I am recording this? I don't think they will. I think Alabama, their offense has been so explosive this season. They've got Mac Jones, one of the best quarterbacks in Alabama history, potentially. And they've got Najee Harris, which has looked, he has looked so good running. He's a Heisman potential. He didn't get into the candidates, but he was very good. Jumping over guys in the Notre Dame game. And then you have Devontae Smith, the Heisman winner. Fantastic receiver, puts up hundreds of yards each game, and he has been excellent, making all kinds of catches. And so there's so much talent on that Alabama offense. But like I mentioned earlier, this Ohio State offense is very good as well. You got Justin Fields. We don't know enough about him in this game, though. I feel like he didn't look the greatest versus Northwestern a month ago or so, whenever that game was. He did look great versus Clemson, though, and I think he'll be able to use his legs against Alabama, too. And I think he will have a pretty good game, but not good enough to win. And I really think Ohio State can hang around in this game because they've got each team has great offenses, so it's going to be a shootout. Defenses I'll talk about a little later, though. And then for Ohio State, they have Trey Sermon as their running back. He only started really getting a lot of reps into that Northwestern game where he blew up for 300 yards or so. So he has been looking really good, posting over 100 yards in both of his games. And I think he'll have another huge one versus Alabama. And then the top receiver of Ohio State is Chris Olave, and he has been great. But I don't think he's quite as good as Devontae Smith. And I think that's where Ohio State might lose some ground. The receivers are still great, but I don't think they're as good as Alabama. So then let's talk about the defenses. Ohio State's defense looked great against Northwestern, and I meant great against Clemson, and they've looked decent throughout the season. The one game where they really didn't look too good was against Indiana when they allowed 35 points, but that was forever ago, and Ohio State has really changed. And then Alabama, their defense has looked good. They only allowed 14 points to Notre Dame. But then you go back to the conference championships where they allowed 46 points to Florida. Go back even further, and they allowed 48 points to Ole Miss, but that was forever ago at the start of the season, so I don't think that's going to matter too much. But the defenses are pretty even, and I have trouble picking one defense over the other. They're both not as good as the defenses we usually see in the national championship, and this is really what's it been like what it's been like over the past few years. The offenses are getting better, the defenses are getting worse, but I think one team will be able to make some stops, some turnovers, and win this game, and I think that team will be Alabama. So then I'm going to predict the stats of the top players for both teams. For Alabama, Mac Jones, I have him 24 of 37 for 397 yards and four touchdowns and an interception. I think he'll have a great night. But I think the Ohio State defense is good enough to pick him off one time. They were able to pick off Trevor Lawrence, a great quarterback. And they really held him in check. Najee Harris, I think he will have another big night rushing for 162 yards, a touchdown, and 19 rushes. And of course, this is not my actual stats. This is just my predictions for what the players will perform like in the game. And then I think Devontae Smith will have another fantastic game, receiving 11 times for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then on the Ohio State side, I think Justin Fields will play pretty well. 23 of 33 for 310 yards and 3 touchdowns and an interception. And I think he will rush it I've got him rushing it 7 times for 52 yards and a touchdown. I think Ohio State will definitely have the ground game going. And then the running back, Trey Sermon, I think he will have another great game rushing for 171 yards on 21 tries and a touchdown. And then on the receiving side, I think Chris Olave will play pretty well, receiving 10 times for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. So yeah, I think the defenses are pretty even, but I think the Alabama offense has the edge in this one, and I think that's going to win them the game. It should be a really fun game, though. I love this matchup more than Alabama Clemson, actually. It's different, and we're all expecting Alabama Clemson, but we got Alabama Ohio State, and I'm perfectly happy with that. And it's going to be a shootout, high-scoring game, should be fun. And so, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and check out some of my other videos on the channel. If you're new to the channel, I do both college football and NFL here. And this is the Sports Spiral. Bye.